So I just left Lifetime. I did not record any of my workouts only because there's so many people in the gym that it would be like really disturbing for the people for me to record my workouts, and just like some people don't want to be recorded even if it's not like intentional. So I didn't want to do that. But I do want to talk about is my DNA results. I got my DNA results back a couple days ago about my Ancestry, and then I had it submitted into another partner of 23andMe about my muscle composition. And then after I got those results, I paid for the extra service that 23andMe offers to tell me about my wellness and risk factors about certain things. It was really confusing at first. When I first looked at it, I was just like, well, when I first looked at the second results, which are the first results of the muscle health combination, which I'm just gonna talk about those two. The muscle, fiber, and power endurance thing from a third party that I got. It was telling me that I had almost an even amount of power and endurance muscle fibers, so fast twitch muscle fibers and slow twitch muscle fibers. But it also seemed like I had 52, I think, a little less than 55% of power over endurance. Like, it was roughly close enough to each other, which is great. As I read each and every gene that I had individually that gave those results, it was really confusing at first. I had my sister look into it and read it while I was at work, and she told me that I had possibly 2 elite athlete genes. And by this I mean like genes that are mainly mainly found in like pro athletes, which is great. Like, I'm talking about like basketball players, football players, soccer players, any pro athlete like sport there is. But the downside of it was I was really prone to injury, like high risk. And I have a higher amount of soft tissue, I think it was, my joints and ligaments, which gives me pretty prone to injury, which kind of sucks. It means I can't really play an actual sport. I mean, I can if I really wanted to, just gotta be really careful. But I'm more into lifting, which is great. Like, overall, I can be injured, but like, I'm more safe instead of like having to worry about being knocked out of nowhere and like twisting my ankle or something. It could happen at the gym, but it's like less likely in my head. And these 2 genes that I'm talking about was, one is for power, I believe. Just how quickly, no, that's not right. I'm gonna think about it, because I gotta reread it real quick and think about what it actually said. But one of the genes was I'm well appropriate for muscle building. Like, my body's able to build muscle, not at a rapid rate, but in a decent amount, a little bit normal or higher than normal, as well as my endurance. And this is another gene. I'm easily able to just recover quickly from endurance workouts, but at the same time, it gotta take me a little bit longer. I don't know, it's really confusing, but which is great. It's just, the whole thing made it seem like I have type 2B muscle fibers, which are the muscle fibers that are mainly fast twitch muscle fibers, but can quickly adapt for endurance and change if needed for that extra power boost. Once I stop, I'm heading to GNC right now, pick up the supplements I didn't pick up earlier. interesting, and I've been really excited after like working out. I encourage anyone who's watching this video to like get their DNA tested. It is amazing. I got my Ancestry DNA tested, and it was just like something I didn't even think, like stuff I didn't know. Instead, I was like, my ancestors from both my mom and dad's side were like one of the first settlers here in America. Like way back. Instead, it was like Native American and Eastern European. I'll talk about it more in a second. But first, I'm going to continue talking about my fast twitch, slow twitch, power endurance, muscle competition. But I'm going to stop this video and come back in a second. Just left GNC and bought some multivitamins and some BCAAs. I'm gonna try these multivitamins out, but I'm gonna try them out today. See, well, for the next 30 days. There's 30 pack. See how they are. But back to the DNA. So it says I have 52 power and 48 endurance. So I got a pretty good mix. So the ACE gene, I'm not even trying to pronounce what this says, or what the word is, but it says power-based training recommended. Good muscle growth expected from weight training and strength sports. Good muscle recovery. Ensure blood pressure is monitored during high intensity exercise. Effect increased in conjunctive. So the effect is increased in conjunctive with the AGT-C allele. So the AGT is next gene. All right, so let me get started. Let me start over, kind of. The ACE, I have 2 double Ds, which is good. According, from from what I'm reading, I think. I have not read the other 2 possible ones, which is ID and II, but we're gonna go start reading the AGT gene. I have 2 Cs, and according from the last one, it says affected increased in conjunction with the AGT-C allele. So I have to have a C allele, and this is associated with vasoconstriction and blood pressure control. I have 2 Cs, and it says associated with power, strength, speed, sports. Carriers may achieve a higher than average physical improvement in strength, speed, and power with training programs. Carriers can have the greater susceptibility to higher blood pressure, left ventricle hypertrophy, monitor heart rate, adapt length of strenuous activities, affected increase in carriers of the affected increase in carriers of the ACED allele, which is the last one we just read. So they both work with each other. The next up is the IL-6 gene, and it says stimulates the immune response to training and is involved in the inflammation repair process. I have 2 G alleles associated with lower levels of inflammation after hard training sessions, leading to quicker recovery times. This genotype has been independently associated with performance in power sports. So I'm able to recover a little bit quicker than normal, I guess. But like all this is like really confusing because there's so many different genes and factors, and I'm pretty sure there's other genes that have not been discovered or really known more about. They've been discovered, they don't know what their effects are yet. This next one is the ADRB2 gene. I'm not going to pronounce this. I'm terrible at pronouncing words. Beta-2 androgenic receptors are expressed through the body and severe as receptors to the natural stimulant hormones called I don't know what this word is. I just can't pronounce it. Catecholamines epinephrine, adrenaline, and norepinephrine. The polymorphism tested results in amino acids changes which affect the activity of the receptor. To alter the response to these hormones. Beta-adrenic receptors are found in fat cells, liver, skeletal muscles where they are involved in fat metabolization, blood glucose levels, and vasodilation. I have 2C alleles, and it says contributes to positive response to endurance training, including good increase in VO2 max, which is oxygen uptake, for when like doing long distance running. No, not long. It's a long distance running. Yeah, I think so. Sprints and all that kind of endurance type of work. The next up is the ADRB2 gene, and I think it's the same one. It looks like it says the same exact thing as the last one, but this time I have an AG allele, and it says a more moderate form of AA, an endurance-based combination with good increase in VO2 max, but not as much as the AA allele. The AA allele says reports from studies include likely to respond well to endurance training, including good increase in VO2 max, good blood pressure response to aerobic exercise, may have may have slightly slower recovery from exercise. And there's two more which are pretty sure are about endurance. And personally, I don't really care about endurance. Yeah. Oh, this one's interesting. CRPG gene associated with the acute phase protein which raises in response to inflammation in the body. High CRP is associated with low VO2 max. Diet and physical activity can reduce CRP levels, although increased exercise can cause short-term local increase in CRP. It is stimulated by the IL-6 gene and is often used as a marker for inflammation in blood tests. I have 2G alleles, and it says may experience higher levels of inflammation after strenuous exercise. A longer rest period between training sessions may be required compared to AA alleles. So this is why I said it's confusing. One said I didn't need that much time to recover. This one says I need a little bit more time. So it's like a give and take type of thing. Which is pretty good. Not bad. Let's see. Okay. So I'm at the PDF version of the file. To the website. Examples of endurance activities, which is something that I'm 48%. Sorry, this one 47.8% endurance response, which is a more accurate number instead of just rounding it up. 47.8%. Long distance running, rock climbing or mountain climbing, and road cycling. Examples of power activities are like sprinting, powerlifting, and track cycling. So from this one, it says my aerobic potential is not very high, it's high. This goes from, must go from very low, low, medium, high, and very high. So mine's at the high level. Okay, recovery. This says my recovery is about a medium. So yeah, pretty good, not that bad. And post-recovery nutrition needs, it says I need about 5,000 IUs of vitamin A, beta-carotene, 7 milligrams, vitamin C, 250 milligrams, vitamin E, 200 IUs, omega-3, 1.6 grams, and alpha lipoic acid, ALA. I'm just gonna assume that's the abbreviation of it. 150 milligrams. Now, risk of injury. It says I'm at high risk of injury. It says your genetic results indicate that you have an overall higher than average risk of a sport-related soft tissue injury. This should be taken into consideration when planning training schedules, and information should be communicated to your personal trainer. I didn't know this. That's about it. About that. There is another one about diet. Let's see if I can quickly go over this. Fat sensitivity, which is like not fat in general, but it's like fat that you eat, like saturated fat, polysaturated fat, monosaturated fat, those type of fats. It says I'm very low for weight managing, which I think is a good thing. Your combination genotype for lipid-related genes indicate a very low sensitivity, which affects various aspects including fat absorption from food in the intestines, transport and metabolism, and the effect of saturated and unsaturated fats on your blood lipid profile. Consume a maximum of 10% of your daily calories through saturated fats. So, alright. So this one says fat sensitivity, general health. How do saturated fats affect your health? Fats provide us with a concentrated form of energy. They supply essential fatty acids to the body itself cannot produce. Help the body store energy, insulate tissue, and absorb fat, soluble vitamins, and hormones. Saturated fats can, however, raise LDL cholesterol levels, and high LDL cholesterol has been linked to cardiovascular disease. Many studies have affected it. Okay. Your combination genotype for lipid-related gene indicate very low sensitivity, which affects various aspects including fat absorption from food in the intestines, transport from metabolism, and the effect of saturated and unsaturated fats on your blood lipid profile. I have no idea what any of that means. So if anyone does know what that means, please let me know, because I would really, really like to know. Action points. Based on the combined genotype of all genes related to lipid metabolism, where we offer the following nutrition advice. Saturated fat, max 10% of my calories. Monosaturated fatty acids, 15% total calories. Polyunsaturated fatty acids, 12% total calories. So it's just breaking down how much of each thing I should eat when it comes to fats. Detoxification. I don't know what any of these means, but I have to read it. Antioxidants needed is raised. It goes from normal and raised on a scale. It just says so much to read. Just gonna skip all that stuff. It says I'm really sensitive to salt. True. So I should have less than 2,000 milligrams of sodium per day. Alcohol response. This says this results in a higher activity enzyme which metabolizes alcohol more rapidly compared to the VAL genotype presented of amino acid valine. Alcohol can have a alcohol can have a positive benefit on lipid levels, especially on HDL cholesterol, when consumed in moderate quantities. Moderation is particularly advised because the alcohol is rapidly metabolized in the toxic intermediate, something which is also associated with hangover symptoms. I honestly just blanked out when I was reading that. I'm tired. Don't know what any of that really means. This says I'm really sensitive to caffeine, which is ironic because I tend to have a lot of caffeine. A couple weeks ago I had 1,000 milligrams of caffeine. Then I took a nap. 1,000 milligrams of caffeine in a 4 or 5 hour span. Did a workout and then took a nap. Then I went to work, I think. Yeah. And I think I had more after that. Yeah. But now, time for, pretty sure you probably just want to know my ancestry, what I am. It's going to be a really long video. Where is it? Sign in. Okay. Reports. Ancestry. Okay, so 57.3% of me is East Asian and Native American. Did not expect that. It's broken down into 45% Native American, Southeast Asian, 0.7%, East Asian, 0.5%, and then 10.6% of broadly East Asian and Native American. Those are all what make up my East Asian and Native American. Next up is European, 32.1%, which is made up of Southern European at 27.8%, which is broadly Southern European, 13.4%. Next up is Northwestern European at 1%. And then next up is Ashkenazi Jewish, 0.3%. That Jewish was a religion. I don't know. But next up is broadly European. Broadly. 3.1%. Next category is Sub-Saharan African, 4.9%. This is where I think I got my muscle composition, muscle fibers, of why I have a good balance between power and endurance. I could be wrong, but from my research is African people tend to have more type 2B muscle fibers composition and have a better physique because of their muscle fibers that the body is composed of. So, could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's where I got all my muscle fibers and ability to build a generic physique. But we'll see as I continue to grow. And that is made up of West African at 4.5%, Central and South African at 0.1%, and broadly Sub-Saharan African at 0.3%. Next up is Middle Eastern and North African, 1.6%. North African is 1.2%. Middle Eastern, 0.5%. Now this one is one I did not expect when I first, well, the next three. And that is South Asian at 0.1%. Broadly South Asian, which I don't understand why I keep saying broadly. Broadly. That's what the word broadly. Broadly South Asian at 0.1% also. This next one, which is 3.9%, is unassigned, so it means no one knows exactly what this is yet. It's really intriguing. I really want to know what it's going to be. Like, come on. Isn't that amazing? Here. These are almost all my jeans. Right there. But that is what I'm made of. Okay. So this video has gone on long enough. I am going to go to home, start editing this video, and upload it. If you guys want to figure out your DNA and your history and all that stuff, I'll have a link in the description on how you guys can get, I think, $20 off your purchase for 23andMe. Which is a really great deal. I had to pay like full price, and then after that I had to pay the extra price for the extra package, because they have two. There's like a $100 one and there's like a $200 one. So I had to pay full price for both. So just go to the description, comment, like, subscribe to the video if you guys liked it. Now, time to edit this video, eat some food, and go to work soon.